What is poppin', and welcome back to another tattoo tips video. So this is, I'm calling the first official video of 2022. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. I hope you all had a happy and safe new year. Because this is 2022, what better subject to talk about than what we are going to talk about today, which is setting up your own studio. So yes, it is 2022, and you guys might be thinking, do you know what? This is the year. This is my year. I have worked for other people before. Now is the time for me to work for myself. So I'm going to go and set up a tattoo studio. Well, I have a few simple tips to help you along the way. I have set up my own studio in the past. Now, I don't have my own studio now. Long story. Some point I might tell you about it. But yeah, I used to have my own studio. And all I'm going to do is relay the top maybe 4 or 5 things that I wish I knew before going into it. So coming straight in with tip number 1, start small. Get yourself a nice, small, manageable premises. It is cool to have like the biggest, baddest tattoo studio in the country, or you know, even where you live, and you want to stand out above every other tattoo studio in the area, and I completely get it. But what you have to realize is that those things come with time. Strictly speaking, if you have a room, a tattoo bed, some basic tattoo equipment, and you have been licensed to be able to operate a tattoo studio via your local, you know, authorities, here in the UK it's generally your local council, then you don't need a big premises to tattoo. You don't need a fancy premises to tattoo. You just need something small to start out and build up. Which takes me on to my next tip, which is don't blow your load.
Wow.
You need to have enough in the kitty to keep you going. So when I set up my studio, stupidly what I did is I had just the required funds to set up my studio and open. That is it. Once I'd done the studio, decorated the studio, and opened the studio, there was pretty much no money left in the pot. Now, you don't want to be doing that. You seriously don't want to be doing that, because when you start your business, you are starting with the added financial stress straight from the off. And it might not be a big stress, but when it comes to running a business and having your own tattoo studio, the little stresses suddenly become big stresses. And if you open your studio and you don't have a waiting list, or you are hoping that you will get like walk-in footfall, so you will be able to pay, you know, the first month's rent coming on that studio, that may not happen. That really may not happen. So what you need to do is you need to have more money set aside to front the initial build cost of your studio while your studio is new and getting up and running. Now, when it comes to setting up a new studio, generally if you're doing it in a village or you're doing it in a town center, people do talk. You know, they'll get wind that a new tattoo studio is opening, and there will be some hype around the opening of your tattoo studio, and you may get some footfall and you may get appointments booked in, and you think that it's going all right. But trust me, having money set aside as a rainy day fund, let's call it, for when your business isn't going right is a must. See, I know these things are like pretty bloody obvious, but like when I did it, I just got into the hype of setting up a tattoo studio and I didn't really think of all this stuff. So if you think I'm being like, you know, what's the word that I'm looking for? Patronizing? Like, you know, that sort of thing. I'm really not. It's just generally like I did not think of these things. So if I didn't think of these things, then I know there is people out there that also is not thinking about these things. Tip number 3 would be, before you even think about setting up a tattoo studio, is to have bookings ready for when you open that tattoo studio. Now again, this ties into number 2 and slightly into number 1, but having your bookings there ready is a absolute must. Again, you cannot rely on hype and walking footfall to run your business. You need those bookings there. Out of all the bookings that you've got, you need to think about how many may cancel. You need to think about how many are gonna no-show on you. And when it comes to running a tattoo studio and having a tattoo studio, no-shows and cancellations really hit a lot harder. All you are doing with these bookings is foolproofing yourself, is giving you that added security to know that I have just took on one of the biggest responsibilities that you will ever take on, and you are giving yourself the best possible chance to succeed. Those bookings will tide you over, yes, but the real reason you need those bookings is, unless you live with mummy or daddy, okay, and you have 0 bills to pay. Say you own your own house, okay, you've got your own mortgage, you've got your own bills, your own gas, your own electric, everything. When you take on a new premises and a new business, all those bills that you have at home then double and they go onto that premises. So you haven't got rent to pay just on your house or your mortgage to pay. You've also got your rent or the mortgage to pay on the business if you've decided to buy the property. You've got the electric to pay on the business, then you've got the electric to pay on your house. You've got the water to pay, same. Okay, everything that you pay on your outgoings, on just general living, gets sucked up twofold when it comes to having a business. And you need to earn enough to pay both. Like when it comes to having your house and your business, say you get into a situation where you can't pay one or the other because you have not paid, because you have not earned enough money that month, and at some point you guys may come into this situation. You also have to decide which one you're going to pay. Me personally would pay my business, because if my business is shut, then I can't earn any more money. Whereas if you lose your house or you are struggling with your house, at least you've got your business there to help you, to get back on track. So just have your bookings ready to go for when you open, and have at least 3 months. Now my next tip, as you become more and more established, there may come a point where you believe that you want more staff, you want to work with other tattoo artists, so you want to bring in tattoo artists. And maybe you want to bring in past tattoo artists that you've worked with before. Maybe they are like your best friend in the tattoo industry, and you want to bring them in to work for you. This is when being a boss and being a friend can really get conflicting, because if your friend is doing something wrong or is doing something that you don't like, you have to be professional and you have to be the boss. You need to learn how to separate friendship from business. When in work, business always comes before friendship. But that doesn't mean go on a power trip with your friend or anything like that. It just means be professional. Now, being professional, that also means keeping your studio immaculate. Me, for example, I had a big, massive front open window on my studio and everybody could see in. So when I wasn't at the studio, people that walked past were looking in my studio, and if I had rubbish everywhere, if I had full bins, if I'd not swept up, if I'd not hoovered, cleaned everything, took the dust off the surfaces, off the windowsills, people see that okay? Don't be leaving dirty setups on your station. Make sure you clean your station down after every use. I know that sometimes when you are working late, it's easy just to think, yeah, I'll leave it well tomorrow. I'll come in early in the morning and clean it up. It is easy to think that when you're so tired and you just want to get home. Just remember that you are wanting to come across the most professional that you possibly can, and all these things will go against you, basically. So yes, that's that one. Being a business owner comes with stresses, and earlier I was saying about, you know, minimizing as much stress as possible, but being a business owner does come with stress. And if you have took on a new artist, a new apprentice, those guys do not need to know the ins and out of your business. All they need to know is that their job is secure. So if you start having problems, do not show it in front of your staff, because that will just place more worry on them and create a more stressful environment. If they're worried about their job, you're worried about your business, everyone's worried. Nip that in the bud. That does not need to happen. You are the business owner. It is your responsibility. It is not your staff's responsibility to think about. Okay, now guys, on to my last tip. And if you took anything from this video, please take this one. For me, this is the most important thing to realize. And that is that talent and creativity and you just being you will not bring success to your business on its own. Learning how to market and learning how to build your brand, combined with your talent and your creativity and you being you, is what will lead to success. You need to work smarter, not harder, and you need to build the identity of your business. Learn how to run an actual business. Watch videos on business. Go and do business courses, because business and learning how to run a business and how to manage a business is what will determine the success of your business. The least talented artist who knows how to run a business and how to build a brand over the artist that doesn't know those things but is absolutely shit hot, I promise you, in business, will do better than you. Whew. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, that was intense, man. Like, but guys, it is running a business, and when it comes to running a business and it comes to setting up a tattoo studio, you do have to take it serious. It's not something that you do just on a whim or because you think that you can make it. You need to know these things to make it. And if you know those things, and then you know, you will make it. So yeah. Anyway guys, that is all for today. Please, if you are new around here, subscribe to the channel if you find these videos helpful. If you haven't found this particular video helpful because you've got no intention of setting up a tattoo studio, then go over to my tattoo tips playlist. There is a vast array of videos on there for you to peruse. Maybe you'll see something on there and subscribe. Who knows? Also guys, don't forget to turn on bell notifications to get notified every time I upload a new video. But guys, I shall see you all in the next one. Peace.